We spend a lot of time talking about climate change, right? We think in terms of decades, maybe centuries. But what if I told you Earth itself has an expiration date? We're about to dive into some really wild research that lays out our planet's ultimate long-term fate.
1 billion. Just let that number sink in for a second. 1,000 million. It's not a budget, it's not a population count, nope, it's a countdown. The big question is, a countdown to what exactly?
That, right there, is the number of years that complex life, yep, that's us and pretty much everything we can see, has left on planet Earth. According to some brand new scientific models, that's the window, 1 billion years before this planet can no longer support us. That's a tough one to wrap your head around.
Okay, so how on earth did scientists come up with a number like that? I mean, a planetary expiration date. It all comes down to some seriously powerful modeling.
And just to be clear, we're not talking about some sci-fi movie plot here. This prediction is the real deal, coming from super detailed computer simulations. The brains behind it? Researchers at NASA and Toho University in Japan. They basically modeled the long-term future of Earth's climate.
But here's the twist. The real reason for this countdown. It's not something we're doing on Earth. Nope. The culprit is the one thing that gives us life in the first place, our sun. It's all because the sun is, inevitably, going to change.
See, our sun, like pretty much any star of its kind, is just this giant, continuous nuclear reaction, right? And as it gets older, it burns through its hydrogen fuel. The crazy thing is, this process actually makes it get brighter and hotter over time. It's super slow, happening over cosmic timescales, but it is happening, constantly.
So you can probably guess what a brighter, hotter sun means for Earth's climate, right? It's going to have a massive effect. In fact, it's going to trigger something the researchers call a greenhouse trap.
Okay, so the main idea here is this thing called the moist greenhouse effect. Now, you've heard of the greenhouse effect from CO2, right? Well, think of this like that, but on absolute steroids. As the sun pumps more and more energy our way, the oceans heat up and start evaporating way faster. All that water vapor shoots up into the atmosphere, and guess what? Water vapor is an insanely powerful greenhouse gas, so it traps even more heat, which causes, you guessed it, even more evaporation. It just becomes this out-of-control feedback loop.
It's pretty easy to see how this whole thing just snowballs, right? First, the sun gets brighter. That heats up the oceans, and they start evaporating like crazy. All that water vapor in the air traps a ton of heat, which just makes the whole process speed up until the oceans literally boil away. Gone.
Now, boiling the oceans, yeah, that's about as catastrophic as it gets. But believe it or not, this triggers something even more fundamental for life as we know it. It leads to a total, full-on oxygen collapse.
All that extreme heat, all that chaos in the atmosphere, it's just going to be devastating for the very foundation of our ecosystem. All the things that photosynthesize. We're talking plants, trees, phytoplankton in the ocean, the stuff that makes all the oxygen we breathe. They'll all die off, and without them, the oxygen in our air will just vanish.
I mean, just look at this comparison. It's absolutely jarring. Right now, our world is a paradise for complex life, swimming in an atmosphere with 21% oxygen. It's perfect. But the models, they show a future Earth where oxygen levels completely crash to less than 1%. The air would be totally unbreathable for us, for any animal. The planet would basically go back in time, to a world where only the simplest microbes could even hope to survive.
So let's really try to picture what this far future Earth looks like in its final days, and think about what this all means for, well, everything.
This quote from the research just nails it, doesn't it? The future of Earth will be a world with boiled dry oceans and an atmosphere devoid of oxygen. It's a hot, barren, dry rock under a blistering sun. It's a powerful reminder, Our planet wasn't always this cozy home for us, and it's not going to be this way forever. It seems like complex life really only gets a fleeting moment in the sun, literally.
And that leaves us with a really mind-bending final thought. If planets like ours have a finite lifespan for complex life, what does that mean when we're searching for life out there in the universe? Are we just looking for a planet in the right place, or do we also have to find it at the exact right time in its billions of years of history? It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many alien worlds out there might have already had their moment and we just missed it?